Hey guys, this is more or less just a prep video to um, the placemat crochet project that we are working on for a couple of days. So you did see that I have made a couple of colors. So this is the yellow one that I have made, and part of the preparation I thought I will also show you how the yarn looks. So I got a couple of questions from you guys. Mm, uh, if you have to use the same yarn or you can use something else. Some of them suggested using a t-shirt yarn. Please go ahead and use whichever yarn you want to try out, because I think even the t-shirt yarn would look pretty cool on this. But what I have used to attain a this is like a 15-inch placemat, and 15-inch is usually the ideal size for a placemat. Um, Also, they make a 12-inch one, so I had previously made a 12-inch placemat using a 6-ply cotton yarn. But the thing is, if you're using a 12-inch placemat and if you're planning to use it for your dining table, usually the 12-inch placemat, your plates are pretty much like 10-inch, I think so. So it covers up the whole placemat, which is fine if you're okay with it, but usually the idea is to have a little bit excess on the end so that you can place your plate and you can have a nice outline to your plate, more of like a decor item. um, of course it is also utility but also a decor item. So a 15-inch placemat I believe is more ideal. But if you plan to use the placemat also over other things, for example over plates to cover something like snacks and so on, then I think a 12-inch placemat should be good enough. So here the whole idea of making the placemat was that you get a good thickness, plus something to be placed under the plate, so it's more like a dining table decor. So go ahead, if you're going to try out different yarns, then you're going to get different sizes. So more or less I will be providing the gauge here in this case, so that if you're using a different yarn and if you want to have it to the extent of 15 inches, then you must know how many extra stitches or lesser stitches you will need in order to attain the 15 inches. Or if you want a smaller size, and if you're using the same yarn, you could probably make lesser rows. Or if you're using a thinner yarn, you could use the same number of rows but you will get a smaller circle in this case. Okay, so after doing a lot of research, I really found this to be the best yarn. But again, the t-shirt yarn would be, I believe, an excellent alternative. So thank you, Shruti. She's the one who came up and told me about the t-shirt yarn, and it is something I would love to try in future. Or Shruti, if you actually make it with the t-shirt yarn, I would love to see the outcome. So here is what I'm using for this project. It's a Vardhaman Cotton Plus, and for the purpose of the project that we are going to be doing on the 20th, right? So I will be using this shade of pink. It is more like, you know, light plum pink. And for the borders, as you can see, I have a border. The border I'm using a very baby pink shade. Okay, so I thought this was a great combination. And for the border, so this is a 16-ply yarn and this is a 6-ply yarn, and this will be the Vardhaman Cotone. So you have the Vardhaman Cotton Plus and the Vardhaman Cotone. The thing is, the combination of this is cotton plus acrylic. So I think more or less the washing instructions, the ironing instructions will remain the same throughout, irrespective of whether it's the border or the center, and that is why this makes a great combination as the yarn and also with the colors and so on. Okay, now if you actually are purchasing this, you can purchase whichever color you want. So a couple of you told me that it would be nice if I could make a kit sort of a thing and send it out to you. My initial plan was not to do so, but if that is what you want, I could probably help you with that. So I could make a combination like pink and light pink. In this case, it's going to be yellow and the fluorescent yellow. And I have a couple of other shades here, like you have the brown and um, the cream. Um, this is the orange and orange, almost similar shades. And another shade which I made was a lavender. So this is like the dark lavender shade and the light lavender shade. So if you want any of these combination of yarns uh, along with the needles, so I'm using the center, which is using the 16 ply yarn, uses a 9 mm hook, and the border uses a 3.5 mm hook. So for the border, since we are using the 6 ply yarn, you will be using a 3.5 mm hook, and for the center, since we are using a 16 ply yarn, you will be using a 9 mm hook. Now if you do not have these hooks, or you do not have these yarns and you want me to help you out with that, just send me a leave a comment below, or send me a WhatsApp or email. You have all of this, and I'll make a kit available for you. Okay, so this is what I wanted to discuss in this video. So take care, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.